I'm playing this flying bird game inside Claude Desktop. Yes, you heard me right. This is working very, very well, and you can see that I can interact with this game, fly it around, and this is the Claude Desktop window that's in the background. So how is this possible? Before I go into the details, there is one very important thing we should do, which is to play this game and complete it. And then, let's go ahead and talk about all the implementation details. All right. Okay, I think that's as far as I would go. And now let's talk about how we implement this. So how is this possible? To understand this, let's understand that there's something new called MCP apps, which are now here. All right. And MCP team released the new version, which is version 2 of the protocol on 28th of July 2026. And this has something new, which is called MCP apps. If you're building MCP servers, you absolutely need to know about this. This just might become the new way MCP servers and clients exchange information in the form of interactive apps rather than raw text or walls of unreadable JSON. So let's try to understand how this works. And here's what we're going to cover step by step. So first thing is that I'll give you a quick demo. Let me first show you the end result, how this looks and works in Claude Desktop. Then we'll understand how to get this code, where you can get this code and test it out yourself locally. And thirdly, we'll understand the MCP apps architecture and handshake that I just showed you. So how does Claude Desktop, our sandboxed UI, and the MCP server communicate? Let's get started. For those new to my channel and courses, I've helped thousands of developers master MCP, ADK, and agent-to-agent protocol in multi-agent systems. I build structured, practical guides, so we don't just talk about theory, we dive straight into real implementation. So you can check out my complete MCP and multi-agent courses with the links in the description. You can also visit and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you face any issues or have any feedback, please leave a comment or connect with me on LinkedIn. I've left the link for that in the description as well, and I'll be happy to connect and answer your questions. So let's jump into the quick demo first. All right, so here's Claude Desktop. Let me just go over here and start a new chat. And now I can say something like, I'm feeling bored. Can you please start the flying bird game for me? And let's press enter. And what this is going to do is that Claude is now going to connect with the MCP server with the app, and it's going to launch the game. So this is the game. It launches directly inline inside chat. And there's an option to mute and unmute your sound over here and expand it. So I'll expand it. You can see that the chat box over here covers the lower bit, but we're just going to go ahead and still try out this particular game. And you can see that it works very well, right? I'm able to control the bird using the space bar to flap it up and down. And you can see that we can play this game very, very well. Okay, so rather than getting stuck into playing this game, let me go ahead and cover the next steps. The next part is how to get this code. So for that, just use the link in the description, and this is going to open the code in this nice visual editor on the ailanguage.com. You have an AI assistant on the left of it. You can set your own Gemini API key over here, ask questions about the code, and even customize the app to your liking. All right. You can click on these files to see these files visually over here. And this platform access is only available for our YouTube members. You can join at as low as $1 to $2 a month and be able to access all the features of our platform. To download the code, please click on this download button, and this is going to download the entire code as a zip file in your downloads folder. Do look at the README. It covers the entire configuration of Claude Desktop and how to use the UV package manager to actually set up this code, the virtual environment, and run this. All right, so that now covers how you can access the code. Now let's try to understand how we build this up. There are three key actors in the process. You have the host application like Claude Desktop or the MCP inspector. Then you have the MCP client, which is part of the host application. So these two form the first key actor. Then you have the MCP server, which is the Python backend. And thirdly, you have the sandboxed iframe UI, which we're going to run inside of the host. And this is going to be delivered by our MCP server. So with MCP version 2, the protocol introduces this official MCP apps extension called io.modelcontextprotocol/UI. And here is the complete sequence of events. The first thing that happens is tool invocation and resource fetching. So this is the host to server communication. So the prompt is let's play the flying bird game, and this calls the tool get bird game. Now the tool itself on the server specifies the underscore meta.ui.resource URI, which is linked to ui:/bird/app.html. So the MCP server decorates this tool with this resource URI, stamping the response with meta UI resource URI. Now Claude Desktop reads the UI resource URI and calls resources/read to fetch the raw HTML document from the server. The server returns the HTML content with the official MIME type, which is text/HTML and profile equal to MCP apps. So this is the first step, which is tool call and resource fetching. Then we have the second step, which is iframe mounting and the 3-step handshake. This is the host to iframe communication. So a Claude Desktop mounts a sandboxed iframe container with the fetched HTML. For browsing security, the iframe is sandboxed and isolated from direct host memory. So communication happens strictly via the window.postMessage events. So the first step is the UI/initialize. The iframe boots and sends the UI initialize request with protocol version and its display capabilities. The host responds with the supported capabilities and matching ID. The iframe then sends the initialized notification, which basically acknowledges readiness. This then leads us to dynamic auto sizing using resize observer. So the iframe measures its bounding dimensions via resize observer and dispatches UI notification size changed. The host adjusts the container height seamlessly without internal scroll bar, so you can see a nice big app with the required dimensions. If you do not do this step, your app might be squished and you might not be able to look at it completely. Now we move on to the fourth step, which is tool execution result delivery. So the Python MCP server completes tool execution and returns the JSON game payload to the host. The host forwards the payload into the iframe via UI notifications tool results, and the 60 frame per second HTML5 canvas engine starts running. Finally, we have the last step, which is user interactions with the app. So the user interacts directly with the canvas using tap, click or spacebar, and they can click the expand button, which sends UI request display mode to switch between inline and full screen. So that's it. That's how your MCP apps work, and you know how this MCP app is working with the server and the host.